spraying it in the air, I understand why people have the reaction that they do for the scent. Hello, my name is Nani and welcome to my channel where I share with you my top tips on how to look good, feel good, and smell good from the inside out. In today's video, we're talking all about smelling good, and I finally want to share with you my first impressions on this Creed sample set that I purchased. Let me close it up. This is what the box looks like, and then these are basically the samples. The three samples that I have are basically Aventus, Green Irish Tweed, as well as Virgin Island Water. So of course, I am going to be sharing with you guys my first impressions on these scents, and if I think that they are worth the hype, because these are obviously very expensive fragrances. Of course, if you guys like this type of content, make sure that you go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to my channel for more. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so jumping right into this video, of course, this is going to be my honest and genuine first impressions. I have not tested these out. It's been a while since I asked you guys if you guys wanted an exclusive fragrance review or if you guys wanted a first impressions on these. And it's been a while, and it's just basically been sitting in the corner. I have not tested them out, I promise you. So of course, I'm gonna start off with the most popular, which is of course Aventus. What I did was I basically just wrote down the actual notes, just to let you guys know which ones are most prominent and things like that on my skin. So in terms of Aventus, the highly raved about scent, the top notes are black currant, bergamot, apple, and pineapple. Heart note are rose, dry birch, Moroccan jasmine, and patchouli. And then the base are oak moss, musk, ambergris, and vanilla. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this actually has a lot of notes that I really enjoy in fragrances. So I'm excited to see what this is going to actually smell like. So again, I have this little sample, and I'm gonna just spray it. Actually, I'm gonna spray it on my wrist. Okay. Okay. Spraying it, let me just spray it in the air as well. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, so spraying it in the, wait a minute. So spraying it in the air, I understand why people have the reaction that they do for the scent. I know that a lot of people say that it does depend on the batch that you receive. I don't really know what that's about, but in terms of what I'm smelling right now, in the opening, you definitely get a very fruity, like a burst of fruit. I definitely get the pineapple note, but it's not a very strong or sharp or overly sweet pineapple note. I get the apple note as well. I get a bit of the black currant, but nothing too major. And of course, I do get that freshness from the bergamot note for sure. So the opening is definitely very fresh, very sweet, very aromatic, and very welcoming. So I do enjoy that about it. In terms of the heart note, it does say that it's rose, dry birch, Moroccan jasmine, and patchouli. So I'm just gonna smell what I just sprayed on my wrist. I feel like now that it's starting to dry down on my skin, I definitely get more of a masculinity to the scent itself. So I do like that. I smell the birch. I don't necessarily get a strong rose note at all. I feel like I get the birch. I get a little bit of the patchouli. The patchouli is not harsh at all, and it's not an in-your-face type of patchouli, but it definitely gives it a little bit of an edge. But the birch is probably the note that I will say is definitely most prominent currently. And I feel like it's also transitioning more into like the oak moss that's in the base, as well as a little bit more of the musk notes. I don't get a strong vanilla note in here. I don't know if the longer that it lingers and lasts on the body, if it's going to get a little bit smoother, a little bit creamier. It doesn't smell harsh at all. I can definitely tell you that. It's woody, it's aromatic, it's sweet, it's fresh. It's definitely a welcoming scent, and I feel like it's definitely turning a little bit more masculine. I honestly understand why a lot of people have a lot of hype over this scent, just because there's a very inviting, sexy, but soft, approachable nature to this scent. I don't know how else to describe it. I actually am impressed by this, and I'm surprised a little bit. But the only thing that I will say is there's something about it that's giving me a leathery vibe. I don't know why when there's no leather notes in here, but I feel like it's the mix between the oak moss, the musk, and the dry birch that's definitely giving me a little bit of a leathery, and maybe even the patchouli note that's giving me a little bit of a leathery type of vibe to it. But I can stand it. I actually really enjoy it in this scent. But I don't get a very sweet vanilla, creamy nature to this scent at all, but it's still a very welcoming, very inviting, very kind of like sensual, I don't know, masculine type of scent. I do really enjoy the way that this smells. So I'm definitely gonna let this continue to dry down on my skin and move on to the next one, and we'll come back to it to see if the vanilla becomes a little bit more prominent, but so far so good. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one, which is Green Irish Tweed. So Green Irish Tweed says that it's supposed to be rich, fresh, sporty, and unforgettable. The top notes are iris, lemon, verbena. The middle notes are violet leaves, and then the base notes are ambergris and Mysore sandalwood. I'm not sure if I mispronounced that, but okay, let's go ahead and smell this. Let me spray it on my hand first, or on my wrist. Hopefully you guys can see this. Spray. Okay, this one is not as fresh or bright of an opening as the other one, but it does still have a very fresh element. I definitely understand why it says that it's kind of a sporty type of scent. It does give me kind of like that type of vibe. There's something about this scent that smells like it's a very easy, casual type of scent, but it's also something that can transition to like business casual, if that makes sense. I feel like this definitely gives me a very kind of like sporty type of vibe. This, the top notes are iris and lemon verbena. You get the lemon for sure, but it's not a sharp lemon. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly tangy. It definitely just has a little bit of a, I think just the lemon and the iris mixed together just gives me a little bit of a soapy type of smell, if that makes sense. In terms of the middle notes, it says that violet leaves, and then the base is ambergris and sandalwood. And when I smell it on my hand, it definitely gives me a very fresh, soapy, clean, crisp type of vibe. There's like a very soapy type of smell to this. It kind of smells like shower gel, or it kind of smells like Irish soap, Irish spring soap, if that makes sense. And I do get a little bit of the sandalwood that's definitely trying to take over the scent, but there's something about the sandalwood and something else that just smells a little bit off to me. I don't know if it's the sandalwood as well as the ambergris. I like the way that it smells, but not as much as I do the first one. It doesn't smell like a bad fragrance, but I can see why this would be considered to be more of like a fun, sporty, more active type of scent. But I don't really like the way that it transitions into the base. I feel like there's something about the mix of the two that smells a little bit unrefined to me. I feel like there's a little bit of a harshness there that I don't necessarily like, the way that it smells and the way that it's lingering on my body. Just because I feel like the mix of the sandalwood as well as the ambergris notes is giving me a little bit of a heady type of scent. I feel like this is definitely one that you probably want to go a little bit lighter weight with, just because once it transitions into the base, it definitely is starting to give me a little bit of a headache. It's a very strong, sweet, but earthy, mossy type of aroma, and I feel like the sandalwood is trying to be a little bit smooth and creamy, but I feel like the sandalwood and that woody note is basically just making it even stronger and making it a little bit more potent and a little bit more heady as well. So I actually prefer the way that it opened more than the way that it smells in the base. I feel like in the opening you definitely get kind of like a fresh, soapy type of vibe to it. It almost smells like Irish spring soap. I don't know if that's what they were trying to do, but I feel like I like that element to it. It smells a little bit more fun, casual, sporty, but now that it's transformed into the base, I do feel like this could be a scent that you wear like as a business casual type of thing. You can probably dress this up as well, but there's a little bit of a harshness in the base between the notes that I don't necessarily like. So that's gonna be that for Green Irish Tweed. And then the last one, I basically wanted to test it out. It's not a popular one, but I wanted to test it out just because I feel like, I don't know, I just wanted to test it out. And this one is Virgin Island Water. It's supposed to be a little bit more of like a tropical scent. And I feel like now that we're basically transitioning from like, you know, we're going to start transitioning from spring to summertime, I just wanted to see if it's something that I would really enjoy on myself, if it's more of like a unisex fragrance, or if my husband would enjoy it as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray it on basically right here. Okay. And let's spray it in the air. Ooh, this smells good. Let me tell you guys the notes. I forgot to tell you guys the notes. Okay, so the notes in this one, it says that it opens up like a citrusy cocktail of white bergamot, Jamaican lime, Sicilian mandarin, coconut, and it also has jasmine, sweet hibiscus, exotic ylang ylang, and ginger, and it also does have in the base sugarcane, musk, and white rum. So let me spray it one more time. I feel like the biggest thing that I kind of get a little bit of a lot of different notes, but the biggest thing that I do get is definitely the coconut. I feel like it's a little bit of a creamy type of coconut, and it does smell a little bit like a cocktail, I'm not gonna lie. So I think that the notes that I get the most are definitely the lime, the bergamot. I don't necessarily get a strong mandarin note at all. I do get the coconut, like I mentioned, that's kind of like the main smell that I get when I spray it. And then it also says that it has jasmine and sweet hibiscus. I don't necessarily get a jasmine scent. It's sweet, but it definitely smells more like the lime, the bergamot, and the coconut so far. And I get a little bit of the ylang ylang. And then it also has the sugarcane, musk, and white rum in the end. There's definitely an intense sweetness to this scent, and I kind of feel like it smells a little bit like, I would say definitely the sugarcane is prominent, and it kind of smells like the sugar that they put around the rim of like your cocktail. It kind of smells like that. So you'll get the lime, like I mentioned, you'll get a little bit of the freshness from the bergamot, but you definitely get a very sweet, sugarcane, coconut type of smell. That's the main thing that I get, and you get a little bit of the ylang ylang, but it doesn't smell like a floral. I don't know, I feel like the floral notes are definitely not prominent in this scent. I feel like the coconut, the sugarcane, the lime, as well as a little bit of the musk is definitely the main players in this scent. So let's just see how it smells on my arm. Oh my God, you guys. This smells so tropical and delicious. It kind of smells like one of those coconut popsicles. Like that kind of is what it smells like. It's very sweet, but there's definitely a strong lime smell to it. And I love lime, so I'm okay with that. But I feel like there's a strong lime smell. You definitely get the coconut, you get the sugar cane, you get a little bit of the rum. But it's not a strong rum scent to me, but I feel like the mix of everything definitely makes it smell like a cocktail. I feel like this is definitely a perfect name for it. The fact that it's called Virgin Island Water, just because it does smell very kind of like a very creamy but aquatic coconut cocktail. That's basically what it smells like to me. And it smells very refreshing, very sweet. But the only thing is that this doesn't smell masculine to me. I feel like unless you're wearing this on vacation or by the beach, there's really no need to be wearing this on a daily basis. I just feel like this is definitely not something that's versatile. It smells good, and it's not one of those things that will offend anyone, but this is definitely not one that I think would smell masculine on you. It kind of smells more of like a tropical sunscreen, if that makes sense. It does smell a little bit and lean a little bit more feminine to me, and I feel like unless you're on vacation, it just doesn't make sense to wear this scent. It smells good, it's sweet, it's sugary, it definitely has a little bit of a tanginess from the lime. It definitely has kind of like a very tropical vibes to it, but as I mentioned, if you're not on a beach, if you're not on vacation, there's really no reason for you to have this in your collection. That's just in my opinion, just because I feel like it's not versatile enough and you're not really gonna get that much use and wear out of it. Unless you're someone that goes to the Caribbean all the time, I just feel like this doesn't smell like something that should cost $200–300. But I do like the way that it smells. I feel like this is definitely probably one of those scents that would be good to throw on if you're running errands as well. Even if you're not kind of like on a tropical vacation, I feel like this would be a nice kind of like running errands, maybe going to lunch type of thing. If you're basically going to lunch by the beach, I feel like that would probably be acceptable and more appropriate. But if you wear it to work or something like that, it just doesn't smell masculine to me. It just smells like a sweet coconut popsicle. That's basically what it smells like, and it does lean a little bit feminine in my opinion. So those are going to be pretty much my final thoughts on these fragrances. I will make sure to keep you guys updated if I change my mind on any of them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into another video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Which one is your favorite out of the ones that I basically compared for you guys today, and let me know what's the reason that you enjoy that specific fragrance. So if Aventus is your number one, let me know what about it makes you really enjoy it, and of course going down the line with the other scents as well. So thank you guys again so much for tuning into another video. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. If you enjoyed this type of content, give me a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to my channel for more. I hope you guys are staying safe. God willing, I'll see you guys next time.